Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Nasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Nearly forgot my own intro. It's been so long. I can't believe it. Joining me as ever is my co-host and co-founder. Look at her. You look like you took your time getting ready today. Look at you.
It didn't actually take me that long, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad.
Is that velvet?
It is velvet. Green.
I can tell.
Yeah? No, yeah. My uncle had a 50th birthday party and I said, how Zim can I get the tuxedo? And I said,
And he said velvet.
Green velvet. How are you? It's been a while. We're back.
Joining us together is your co-host, Tandy. I forgot we even owned a podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
I was at peace. Was anyone else at peace? I was at peace.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed not having to deal with F1 Twitter. But as the great Al Pacino playing Michael Corleone in Godfathers 2 said, all three, every time I tried to get out, they pull me back in. And
every time I try to leave, son keep bringing me back. Sorry, yeah. I'm young.
Okay, no, I know Chingy. Okay, you weren't outside when Chingy was about. I was
outside.
You were playing in the sandbox when Chingy was about.
I was eating sand. I was that kid.
You were eating sand. Well, look. I hope you guys at home are not eating sand. Today is Christmas Day, so we thought we'd give you a little surprise. We weren't going to come back until next year, but we decided, look, let's just give you guys something.
Yeah.
If you want to get away from your family and listen to something for an hour or so, we've got this. And it is the award show, end of year award show, which is why. Yeah, we should. I don't even know what award show music sounds like, but we have a slew of guests today, the best of the best. And joining us for the first part of the award show, we have everyone's favorite Quick Stop F1 brother. It is Tommy. Tommy, how you doing?
I'm doing mighty fine. Thank you very much. I just watched the Elvis film, so that's my personality now.
That's nice, Tommy. Tommy.
No, it's terrible. Yes, Tandy.
How you been? How's life been since,
Everything's been good, I've just been enjoying just like vibes. Yeah, just like, enjoying.
Yeah, life away from the W13 is different, isn't it?
I know, man. It just feels refreshing. Like, I'm not stressed out every weekend.
It is like a level of peace. Like, I saw so many people tweeting us, like, oh, when you guys come back, I need an episode. And I was like, get somebody else to do it.
Yeah, someone else to do that shit. Not for me. So look, glad to see Tommy. And I thought, it's like, okay, we've got Tommy. How do we keep Tommy in check? And you know what? It's by inviting our favorite white guy, Brad Philpot. How's it going?
Not us filling all the boxes.
It's going really well. I feel really inadequate.
Boxes checked. No. You know what? My thoughts were that we've got the fastest driver that we know, along with the guy with the best car collection that we know, together in one place. We could start like Quick Stop F1 Fast and Furious right now.
I didn't know you were such a fan of my Audi S3.
I'm a massive look. My Celica doesn't compare to either of your cars, so that's absolutely fine. How you doing, Brad?
So I was doing fine, and then I saw Tommy's mic set up, and now I feel super inadequate because I got like some fancy new kit, and it looks terrible compared to what he's got, and I'm probably going to sound awful.
I'm holding a £50 mic right now. Okay.
Yasha, you need to send me your address. I need to send you a mic, bro.
Don't pity me. Okay, don't worry. Next podcast.
At one point when it all happened, I was thinking, are we those people who do the GoFundMe? And I just thought,
doing. Yasha's roof is collapsed on him. So for those who don't know, obviously there's not been a pod because my ceiling collapsed on my office and everything got flooded and then I went into a depressive state. But that's neither here nor there. It's the end of the year and we're all celebrating. We're all happy together. So look, we've got some awards to get through today. And obviously, as it's Quick Stop F1, we've got alternative awards, the awards that maybe you might not have seen on other more established official sites. Okay.
AKA the words I made up half asleep this morning.
No, obviously as organized as we are, thank you for giving a little behind the scenes to everyone at home. So look, guys, we're going to start. You know what? Let's start off on a grand note, on a good note. 2022 was the season that maybe failed to live up to the expectations of 2021 with all the drama that happened. But obviously there was still on-track action. So I'm going to start with you, Brad. The Driver of the Year award. Which driver for you had the best performance?
So I had to think long and hard about this. And I have to say, this isn't an endorsement of my favourite driver on the grid. This is just someone I think this year did exceptionally well. And it's George Russell. I know all of the caveats in terms of the points gap to him and Lewis by the end of the season and Lewis's early season development work, etc. So I'm not talking so much about that end of season position where he finished a couple of places in the points ahead of Lewis. It's more the kind of effortlessness with which he went about his whole season. No fuss, really solid. Apart from, I think, the Silverstone accident, it was a pretty faultless year and he just kept banking away, really solid performances. But the key thing for me, the reason that I think he did the best is because he managed to basically run Lewis really, really close in terms of qualifying pace. And I think that's a very hard thing to do. And so the car obviously wasn't easy to drive. He managed to drive it well enough to be pretty near on Lewis's pace. Maybe not so much in the races, but still not far off. So I think for a first season in the big leagues, George Russell, Driver of the Year.
Look,
I agree with you, Brad. Sorry.
No,
I agree with you, Brad. Just to play devil's advocate, was it that hard to run past Lewis this season? There was times when Lewis was like sharing a plate with Yuki Tsunoda. If you're sharing a plate with Yuki, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is why I say
Chinese team.
It's not the fact that he beat Lewis in the points. He could have finished behind Lewis in the points, and I'd still be giving him this award, I think, because it would have been easy just to say Lewis. You know, I'm a big fan of Lewis. It would have been easy just to say, yeah, he worked hard, and despite having a young charging teammate and an awful car and a terrible end to the previous year, it would have been very easy for his head to be down. But no, he worked hard and he finished super well, and he was great in the races. But I didn't want to just go for that option. George, I think, considering he's never been in near the front, I know they weren't generally at the front, but he just had enough mega performances, topped off with holding Lewis off at Brazil, that I think it was worthy of this award.
I agree.
That Brazil win, I think Brazil was probably one of the best races of the season. I was going to say the best. I can't think of any off the top of my head, which were Bahrain was actually quite good at the beginning of the season, which was a slight false dawn into what may have happened for the rest of the season. But that performance in Brazil, who could begrudge George for closing that out and to go through all those safety cars and still win? So fair play. Tommy,
Yes.
who was your choice for Driver of the Year?
Well, yeah, sure. Funny you should ask. No, you know what I'm going to say already. I'm going to say Lewis Hamilton. And it's not even just based on, because I was again, like Brad said, I had to take a proper long think. And I was like, man, who do I think has been like really, really good? And I feel like, what were you going to say, Tidy?
Does Quick Stop F1 have an agenda?
It sounds like it.
I hate podcasts that have an agenda, okay? These podcasts that have an agenda and you favor one driver over the other. You guys are journalists, okay? You guys need to be impartial, all right? 2023, Christopher F1's going impartial, okay?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Anyway, like I was saying, I think Lewis Hamilton, I think based on the fact the ending of last year, and then having to drive what was potentially the top three worst cars on the grid. I think Lewis Hamilton did a good job of, just being good vibes. Because if it was me, I would have been cussing everyone out, bro. I would have been walking up down that grid. You know what? I would have been there with a whip, just whipping my pit crew just every night, like Django.
No, when Jericho starts whipping that guy, that would be me on James Bowles. Shoot out.
Nah, but I think despite all of that, Lewis showed a lot of, I'm going to sound like one of those racist news people, but he showed a lot of grace and a lot of dignity. And I feel that despite everything against him, he performed well. He still managed to find time to stand up for what he believed in terms of, supporting all the causes that he wants to support. Still found time to, launch a clothing brand. Still found time to be alongside George and not be a prick. So everyone that said Lewis is the issue in teammate relationships is clearly wrong. And I think he just put up with a lot of bullshit, I think. So I'm not basing it on performance necessarily. I'm thinking it overall. My driver, my star pupil, Lewis Hamilton. If we are basing it on performance, I'd also say Lewis Hamilton. And if we are basing it on anything, I'll say Lewis Hamilton. So that's my answer.
No, look, you're not going to find any qualms from me on that one. So look, we've got 2 nominations there, Tandy. Do you have anything to add to that? Any other person that you'd want to add to that?
To be honest, no. No.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I'll ask a question to all of you. Max Verstappen has had a record-breaking season, okay? He has, I think, won the most races in a season. I'm pretty sure he's got the most points for a driver in a season. Second World Championship. Obviously, there's the cost cap situation, but it's one with a lot less controversy than last season, which is something when your team has breached the cost cap. Why have you guys? I guess I'll go around again, and I'll let all 3 of you kind of come round. But I guess Brad, and then I'll go to Tom, and then I'll finish with you, Tandy. I guess. In a season where he has done so well, why is it that you've not considered Max Verstappen as your driver of the year?
Well, I think when you're in a car that Sergio Perez can damn near finish second in the championship in, and it's the longest season ever. So, records being broken, especially when your teammate is very subservient to you. So they're either not allowed to win or they're just so far off the pace of the lead driver that they can't win anyway. It kind of hands, when you're a dominant car like that and you don't have any competition from your teammate, it's difficult to look upon that season with too much glowing praise, because it's like all you need to do is just finish relatively easy races. I'm sure we could have said this about Lewis for a couple of the seasons where Mercedes were more dominant. It's easier to just qualify and pole and win from the front. And I just don't think Max had much to deal with this season, apart from the difficult start. But once the car came on song, it looked like he didn't have a lot of competition. So that's really the reason. Yeah, okay, he didn't get into many on-track spats with people, but the moment there was an opportunity to have one with Lewis, he still had it and still drove like a dick. So I didn't consider him for the award because of that.
Right. Going there. And no lie was told, may I add on that, because I think we saw it it was Brazil again, right? And we saw that, and him coming out afterwards and saying, I was going to go through that. I had less to lose than he had. I was never going to win the race. He had the chance to win the race and he didn't win the race. To all the people saying that this championship the first championship added a layer of maturity to Max, I think all they have to do is look at that incident, look at the Singapore incident where, he walked off after qualifying without even going into the team debrief, to see that. I think next season, if the pressure's on, I think we're going to see Max revert back to default a lot more. Some very good points made there, Brad. Tommy, thoughts on Max?
He's a prick.
Thank you very much. Tandy?
Has he ever overcome anything? No, he hasn't. I feel like to be a good driver, you've got to, like Martin Luther King.
Oh my God. Martin Luther King and Max Verstappen. Like, why?
Let me land. Yeah. Okay. So Rosa Parks and them, yeah.
Wait, get them all in one.
Listen, right? So Rosa Parks and them, Rosa Parks and them, they actually didn't use the bus for 4 months.
Right.
They actually didn't go on the bus for 4 months. Do you know how inconvenient that is? Walking to work for 4 months when you used to take the bus.
Yeah, no, for real. I know. Look, I can understand. I can understand.
You know what I mean? I just feel like, has he ever overcome anything? Or has everything always been handed to him? To be a good driver, it's good to say like, oh, he did this despite this. He did this despite this person. What? There really wasn't anything. He screwed over his second hand. There wasn't really much of a gap between him and Sergio that wasn't actually handed to him. Yeah. So no, I will not moonlight our award ceremony because in the end, Get Out wins. You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear it. Thank you. Moonlight actually won. It was the other white.
No, it wasn't. It was Mountain. Okay, get it right.
Okay. So, look, I understand, guys. So, look, between George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, I guess is the choices for driver of the year. I guess two have. Tandy, was your vote Lewis Hamilton as well?
I distinctly hear her saying, I heard her say, I agree with Brad. Brad, I agree with you. So
no, wait. Because I agree with Brad's point. Like, why would we not put George forward? Do you know what I mean?
No, that's fine. Okay. No.
Then again, I've been selling Lewis Hamilton tops all year.
Shilling them shirts.
I mean, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Is it all down to me now, or is it like we're just voting amongst us three?
Whatever you vote will be like a number. Then I guess I'll see what happens from there.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with Lewis. I'm sorry.
Okay, well look, I'm gonna go with George. So I think we're gonna have a tie there for driver of the year, and we're gonna give it to the Mercedes drivers. To all you guys that watch this podcast who absolutely hate us, enjoy that one. So on to the next one. We've got to be quick because we're on a tight schedule some of us are on a tight schedule. And we have most disliked person as the next topic. So this will be the last award that we'll do with you guys, just so we can spend some time talking about this. But just to give you some background, most disliked person, it doesn't have to be a driver. It can be anyone within the F1 world. And, within the F1 world, there are quite a few dislikable people. So I'll start with you, Tommy, first. Do you have a nominee for most disliked person?
Asking me the most liked person is easy. Dislike is a bit harder. Dislike's a bit harder because there's a lot of people I don't like in Formula One. There's a lot of people that aren't likable in Formula One. I really, 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 with all my heart, want to say Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
But something inside me is saying Christian Horner, man. Something inside me is just saying Christian Horner. Like I feel like this year he's been a bit more of an ass. Like, I don't know. Max Verstappen not letting Sergio through, But Max Verstappen's been a bit mute this year because things are going his way. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's been, apart from one or two issues, I think it's Christian. I'm going with Christian Horner.
You know what? I can't argue with that. And I guess I'll step in. My vote was going to be for Christian Horner as well. I think, I've always said this, F1 mirrors, or F1 discourse very much mirrors what we see in political discourse of like left and right. Okay. And on the left, you could say there are like Team LH, right? Team LH are very much a more generally liberal fan base, right? And then you've got Red Bull fans and Alonso fans who are a lot more, you would say, on the right and less, I would say, less wanting to be sympathetic towards issues that the left care about, right? When we talk about like diversity, when we talk about human rights, and we talk about all those types of things. I feel as if the 2021 Red Bull World Driver Championship victory has almost made people feel like they can spew their shit even more. Like they feel more, apologies, I'm a couple of glasses of wine deep, but they're a lot more ready and willing to espouse a lot more like horrible things in the name of, or defend a lot more horrible shit because their drivers won World Driver Championship. So they feel like they can say whatever they want. And I feel like Christian Horner is like the prime example of that. Whereas last season, they were almost like the same way as Trump, this plucky underdog, wasn't supposed to win, can chat shit all they want. It's, you know, you would think it's a vocal minority that support them. Then they win, and it's almost like he's just gone to another level of just arseholeness that I can't see. I don't understand how that's good for the brand, personally. Obviously, the brand themselves, we all know, we've done a video on them. They have had their own issues with racism. But I just feel Christian Horner this season has taken up, I want to say, the cuntiness to like another level. And for me, some of the things that he said in the press have just been ridiculous. And so I'm going to go with him as my most disliked person. Brad.
So when you asked me this, I thought this was just drivers. So now you've opened this up to anyone with an F1. It's slightly harder. I was going to say, if there was ever the easiest possible question to answer on this podcast, who was the most dislikable driver, I thought this was going to be quite a quick round. If it's per people, it's Helmut Marko. I'm going Helmut Marko. So the other half of like the what's the right term? Like relationship. Yeah, exactly. The man responsible for bringing Max Verstappen into the sport, the man who's there kind of in the background looking like, I don't know much about Star Wars, but is it like a Sith Lord or is it like the Emperor or something? Just if there's a bad side of a social issue to be on, he'll be on it. He will, in the similar way to Christian Horner, he'll argue until he's blue in the face. It'll gaslight you until he's blue in the face. There's multiple people who are similarly dislikable. Just he is near the top alongside Christian. They're like a duo that enable everything you've just been talking about. I'm sure they're partly the reason why Max Verstappen is the way he is on certain issues and has the certain attitudes he has. They kind of, they coddle him and give him that platform to also be awful when it comes to different issues. So yeah, there we go. Helmut Marko.
I think that's a great choice. I think we forget as well with Red Bull, Tandy, just how much shit has gone on with Red Bull this year. I think if we go through, I'm pretty sure this season was the Nelson Piquet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was.
He was also on the list as well.
Yeah. Like Yuri Vips, that whole shenanigans that went on there.
Jesus, wow.
The cost cap. We have Max's mum liking whatever those posts were about Lewis. There's probably more things that I can't remember.
I'm sure Kelly has done things as well.
Kelly with the black playlist.
Shout out Kelly.
Shout out Kelly on the cover.
Not letting Lewis pass as well.
Shout out Kelly on the cover. Shout out Kelly on the cover of Vogue. Doing absolutely giving us nothing. Give us nothing.
They put Kelly in a racing helmet.
They put Kelly in a racing helmet and said,
"Have that
woman in motorsport."
Are we allowed to be really bitchy here and petty?
Yeah, please.
What? Okay. This is the Quick Stop F1 podcast. Welcome.
So I don't know Kelly Piquet personally, so this is really unfair and horrible. But
well, I don't know Lewis Hamilton.
But I didn't realize the age gap between her and Max until these articles came out this week about when they first met and how I think Max was a child or almost a child. And she said there was already a special connection there when they met, but that was after she was already.
Sounds a bit Daniel pedo to me.
And yeah, isn't she something like 8 or 9, 7 or 8 years older than him? So how, okay, anyway, the reason I said, can I be bitchy is how long will this relationship last? Is Max, you know, big headed, super golden boots, golden helmet Max, who obviously is quite entitled. Is he going to put up with like, you know, an aging girlfriend, or is he going to go for a different Brazilian model?
Right.
Like,
okay, magazine.
Yeah, look, this isn't me. This isn't me. I have an older fiance, but not that much older.
Do you know what I mean? I hear it.
I was going to say, as long as, you know what, I think what I would say is that we've seen it we see it all over the globe in certain situations, like Diana and Charles, right? Like, I'm just saying.
We are terrible.
Diana and Charles, like Charles spotted her when she was 16, but she was born in the Queen's Yard. Like he saw her from young. He's like, I want that, and he got that. You know, you have that all over the globe. Like people, families, strategically. Kate Middleton was basically like grown up to try and marry a royal. They like sent her to the same university as him. They basically placed her in a place where she could meet William and they could like get that clout from being a royal family. All I'm saying is this: Kelly, I hope their relationship is genuine. I'm sure it's genuine, but you know, it feels like obviously going from Daniel to Max and kind of positioning herself in there. It does feel a bit weird when you read that, you know, she's saying there was a spark of a 16-year-old and she was in her mid-20s. It just feels like she positioned herself to get to the win. Can you blame her for that? She got to the bag, you know. Let's see. I'm not going to hate on their relationship because it's a beautiful union and I don't want to end 2022 getting cancelled. So that's all I've got on that. Tandy.
I reckon I could take on Kelly PK me, you know. I reckon I could actually take her on. How tall is she?
Like fighter?
Yeah. How tall is she?
I don't know, man. She's
shorter than Max. She's shorter than Max. Max is short, yeah.
I feel like her racism will give her like 10 power points.
Hit points. Yeah.
I mean, did you say Max is short? Max is super tall, I think.
Is he?
No, Max is short. All the F1 drivers are short.
I think Max is tall for a Formula One driver, not George Russell tall. I'm going to Google this now while you guys are talking.
Yeah, because I remember when Max went up to Esteban, Max was like, and Esteban's tall. So
Esteban
I thought,
is tall, yeah.
But he's not like, he's tall for an F1 driver. He's not tall for a human being.
We're all midgets, but I guess we've got Tommy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, got Tommy.
Well, I'm not there.
Okay.
He's my village.
Nash said, okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'm short. Yes, I hear it.
Max is 5'11" is Max Verstappen. There we go.
See how Twitter's twanging people? I'm sick of this shit. Yeah?
Max is not 5'11". I'm not having that, bro.
No. I'm saying right now, yeah, the average height of a man is 5'7". All of a sudden, anything under like 6 foot is short now. That's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Also, I'm from Zimbabwe. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, child.
You're most disliked person, please.
And to be fair, you've all gone and taken the parents, the missus. I like to get them right in the jugular and literally get the horse's head as it is. And I'm just going to say Max Verstappen. I'm just going to say he's awful, isn't he? So ain't no other way around it. I'm not about to blame anything. Like, do you know what I mean? You're a grown man. You're a terrible person. I don't think you deserve anything.
Max Verstappen definitely lies about his height, by the way, because Lewis Hamilton's like, what, 5'4"? Max is not 5'11", bro. There's no way in hell.
Apparently, Hamilton's 5'8", according to the F1 website.
No, that's
F1 drivers. F1 drivers. I thought they were short, but looking at this year's F1 drivers, they're all 6 or 5'9". You've got Latifi 6 foot, George Russell 6 foot, Mick Schumacher 5'9", Mazepin 5'9". Oh, this must be last year. Mazepin 5'9", Ocon 6'1".
Okay, so Lewis might have grown an inch since that Mazepin list was released.
It's them Balenciaga boots.
Yes, them boots. I'm gonna add
they're measuring them in shoes, boy, because this height isn't making sense. Lewis Hamilton's not what 5'8". Okay. No way.
Okay, guys. So look, I'm gonna say. Shall we just say the most dislikable person? We're just gonna give it to Red Bull as an organism, as an organization, as a business. They are, quite frankly. I mean, look. Pretty much every negative headline, I would say 95% of them can be attributed to Red Bull, 5% to Fernando Alonso. So like, between Christian, Helmut, and Max, they have really contributed to what I feel is like a season where it's been more off track than on track. And I don't think that's what we would want in the sport. Hopefully there's more on track stuff. But look, guys, apologies. I'm gonna have to kick you out of this Christmas party because we've got other guests coming on. But I just want to say, yeah, no,
that's right. We've got other friends.
We've got other friends. But I want to say just to both of you, thank you for your appearances over the course of the season. We've appreciated that, and we're proud of both of you. Proud of you, Brad. You started back up your own thing. How many subscribers you got now on the channel?
So YouTube, it's grown a lot this year. I started the year with about 4,000 and we're just over 10,500 now, and it's going the right direction. So I'm recording my own very small kind of podcast just after this, which is called Full Chat. So Full Chat F1 on YouTube, if anyone is interested. And it's just me and Alex Van Gene from Missed Apex saying all the stuff we're not allowed to say on Missed Apex, basically.
Love it.
Nash is going to cut that because he doesn't believe in promo. But.
Yeah, well, not having any fucking compare his name on my
10,000 subscribers.
Yeah, no, shout out to you. No, congratulations.
Everyone, look at your age mates. Anyway. Continue.
I know, right? Jesus. Subscribe to our team, please. But no, congratulations, Brad, and congrats to you and Van Gene on starting that. And congrats to the Missed Apex podcast as well. We love you guys. Tommy! Thanks for being you, mate.
It's all right. I'm all right. I'm always here.
How's the Drivers Club going?
It's going great. Thank you very much. It's going Hunter Auto Society.
Do you guys bring snacks to your little meeting?
Nah.
No, we eat.
If this was face to face, I'd be slapping her up, Tommy. I can't believe the condescension in her voice.
I know, can you hear it? I don't play it.
You guys eat Rice Krispie squares and talk about your cars and rev each other's engine.
Yeah.
You did.
Well, what else do you do when you drive a Lamborghini?
What else do you do when you have a license? Fucking hell. Next year, guys. Next year.
Yeah, we're gonna start a Patreon, and it's basically just gonna fund Tandy's driving school. But look, Tommy, thank you for being a wonderful guest as well. So you guys are going to see a lot more of Tommy next year. We've got big plans, so keep an eye out. But guys, I'm just going to ask you to basically leave. So could you just leave the chat, please?
All right.
Love you.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Okay, we're back with some new guests in the house. Welcome to our Christmas party from On the Chicane, one of our favorite content creators, one of the we all started at the same time in this thing, so it feels like we're brothers in arms in this, or sisters in arms, or whatever, family in arms. Welcome, family in arms. Paris, how's it going?
Hi guys, Merry Christmas, and I guess Happy New Year, even though we're not at the New Year yet. Happy to be here as always. Happy to be doing this Christmas roundup with you. Thank you for having me.
No, look, pleasure's all ours, and also joining us, someone who I consider, for me, respectfully, is like a big brother to me. And whenever I talk to him, I respect him.
Which is every day, because they have a group chat without me.
I have a group chat with this guy, so I do talk to him pretty much every day. But look, one thing you guys actually, I want to say this on Quickstop F1 right now, yeah? What I didn't realize until talking to Cameron, until surveying the scene, that this guy actually was the first black F1 content creator on the net, yeah? That is a fact.
You know, so when I was talking about Rosa Parks and doing 4 months without the bus.
Yeah.
Cam was doing it for us, you know?
He was.
Those are the people you reward driver of the day.
Yeah.
You know
he was driving the bus.
He was driving the bus.
He was driving the bus.
He's
the first black driver.
Yeah.
You know when they were like at the picket sign and they were like, "You Negroes go home." Cam was there, like,
I'm there in the history books. Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Look, that was
with that guy. What's his name? The one who cussed me out on the internet.
What? Who's cussing you out?
That man. What's his name?
I don't know.
The black driver. Willie. Ribs.
Willie cuss you out?
When I was being racially abused, he basically my tweet going, "Niggas get shot every day, B." You tough, right?
Wow.
He was like, I've dealt with this shit in my time.
Wow.
He was like, hold that. It happened. He was basically like, stop crying.
Straight in, no chaser.
Stop. And I actually stopped. I said, okay,
stop crying your heart out. But anyway, look, Cam, welcome to the Quick Stop F1 Christmas party. How are you doing, bro?
Blessed as always. Blessed and highly favoured, sir. Ready to go.
We are ready to go. Look, sorry, after you, sorry.
No, behave, take it away, sir.
So Cam, I'm going to come to you first. The first award is Mr. Misunderstood. Which F1 driver do you think in the 2022 season has been misunderstood? Maybe by the press, maybe by their own team, maybe by the F1 social media collective at large. Who has been the most misunderstood person within F1?
Asher, some say in 2022 that this man is too old, that he's a douchebag, that he's an evil guy. And whilst all of the above might be true, he's actually a fantastic God tier driver as well. Put some respect on Fernando El Plan Alonso's name. Absolutely legendary drive in 2022, but for the fact that he was driving a shitbox in that Alpine that kept on DNFing, kept on having powertrain issues, he would have been another 40 points down the road, level with Lando Norris. Fernando El Plan Alonso, Mr. Misunderstood 2022. Put some respect on his name.
I love that. Dios mío. So look, do love that. I'm going to go to you, Paris. Any thoughts on what Cam's just said there?
I don't know. I think I've got the measure of Alonso pretty well, so I don't think he's misunderstood. He is a great driver. No one can take that away from the guy. He's a great driver. He's just a troll. He lives to troll. That's his favorite thing to do. He's been I found a tweet from 2012 where I called him an unsportsmanlike douche. The dude has been a troll for like 10 years. That's been his level.
Yes.
But it doesn't take away from his driving, and he is a good driver. This year he's just lived for like pissing off the FIA, pissing off the other drivers, pulling, Lewis blind and saying he can't drive unless he's at the front, blah blah blah. Like his words and his driving are two separate things, and I don't think anyone misunderstands either of them.
Oh, Nasha, may I?
After you, Cameron.
Paris, look, nothing that you said there is incorrect, yeah. But Alonso, everything he does, 100% of his time is all about advantage on track, right? So if he can troll you and piss you off and sledge you, that's what he's going to do. If he's at Austria and he's cleaning the dirty side of the track so that he can get a 6th start, meanwhile making sure that he doesn't leave any rubber on Magnussen's grid position, he's going to do that. He's all about advantage. So I feel like what you're saying there, Paris, I don't disagree with necessarily, but if you view it through the lens of advantage and maximising his cumulative points tally over the 2022 season, then again, ergo, Mr. Misunderstood 2022, Fernando Alonso.
So what you're saying is Alonso is the F1 grid's Joker.
No.
He is. He's the anti-Batman. He is the Joker. He is the person who thinks of every single thing in every single scenario and puts all the pieces in the place to pee you off and put you in the position where you have to retaliate.
If he feels like there's advantage to be gained from it, he'll do it. He'll do it. I see the Joker analogy, but
do you think, Tandy, I'll ask you this. Do you think that with Fernando Alonso, and maybe how people view Max Verstappen, in music, there's a big thing right now of separating the art from the person, right?
Like,
some people,
for example, like
your
R. Hero.
Well, that was an extreme example. Kanye, okay, let's say Kanye. I don't even want to do that one because
Okay, let's say Meek Mill. Meek Mill's an idiot.
Yeah, because he's not done anything that's like.
Yeah.
Right. So like separating. So Meek Mill has a. Some would say a really good. If someone was to do a versus against Meek Mill, 20 songs.
Dreams and Nightmares is cold. Yeah.
Right. He's got hits, but Meek Mill as a person is a douchebag, like absolute goofball, loser, awful online personality. Do you think that that's what sometimes maybe in F1 we have to do, separate the driver from the personality?
Yeah, like sometimes it is one of them issues where like never meet your heroes. This year I actually met a personality, a British personality, and I met them and I was left with a bitter taste in my mouth. To be specific, I had a cold for 2 weeks that I actually believe they might have actually given me. Is this person a great legacy? 100%. However, that person's a terrible person. So yeah, maybe don't meet.
I need names, Candy. You got to WhatsApp me. I want to know who this is.
So many people listening know who I'm talking about. And if you're in the music industry, I feel like people know who I'm talking about. It's not a known thing that this person's an awful person. However, I was actually with Yasha at the time when I met them. But yeah, so sometimes you do have to separate it. But with Alonso, he submerges both these personalities. These personalities coincide, they marry together. And so his online personality and his outside personality meets his driver personality, and it shows on the track. And at times he does actually display a lot of bullying on the track, which isn't very sportsmanlike. But I will always say this, and I have always said this, that Alonso will always be a top 5 driver on that track. So 100%. I definitely agree with you, Cam. Like he's brilliant. He's flawless. People need to learn from him. He's a great teacher, and every team he does go to, they will bend the rules to adjust to him because they know they will get results from him. But is he a prick? Yes. And was that person who I met, who gave me the flu for 2 weeks, a prick? Yes.
I know exactly who you're talking about. So, okay, thanks, Cameron. I'm going to come back to that when we do a roundup. And you know what? I do want to spend a bit of time, so we might actually just stay on this one because this is a good one. Paris, who's your vote for Mr. Misunderstood?
My Mr. Misunderstood is going to have to be Alonso's 2023 teammate, Lance Stroll.
Ooh.
I think that he excels as a driver as much as he possibly can within his talent pool. I don't think he's the most talented driver on the grid, but I think he gets a bad rep for obviously being a paid driver, which he is. No one can deny that. But he's not as bad as lots and lots of past paid drivers. There are drivers on that field that have been way worse than him, and I think he gets labelled and brushed with that. But man's just there to race. Like, he doesn't cause too much trouble. He's pretty inoffensive. He actually stands up for some of the rights and stuff. Like, you see him, especially when he was with Vettel, and I think he was one of the people that kneeled with Lewis and stuff like that. Like, he's actually a pretty solid guy. I think he just gets a bad rep because of obviously his dad owning the team, his inexhaustible contract that we don't know when it ends. But like, driving wise, part of Aston this year, Aston improved towards the end of the year, and I think he improved. Like, he showed that he can handle the car. He was pretty decent the last few races.
Cameron, I'm gonna let you
True
back on that.
True.
Everything that Paris said is bang on. Listen, and I was the first one to slander Lance Stroll. I didn't rate him at all, but he's come on massively last season, and he's proven his worth. As to whether we'll be able to take it to Fernando El Plan Alonso next year, then that's a different bag altogether. Yeah, but this year he's come along right. The most places improved over the course of the season during the race, mate. He's had a bad rap. I agree with Paris there still. Put some respect on Lance Stroll's name. He's not as bad as I first thought he was. He's better than Latifi by miles, at least.
Very true. Tanya, I know you've got a soft spot for Lance.
I do.
Do you think he's misunderstood, sorry?
I didn't even realise he was misunderstood until Paris obviously noted that a lot of people see him as the most privileged kid on the grid, his never-ending contract again, how he'll always have a seat. Now, what I wanted actually to bring in, because I actually thought of this category, was another person who we need to actually discuss has kind of got this new PR rev up that we're like, what's the award? Sorry, what was the award?
Mr. Misunderstood.
Right,
the one that you came up with.
That they want us to say right now in Formula One of Mr. Misunderstood is a certain Schumi. Now. Yeah, right.
Yes.
So we've had this whole rebrand of Schumi, acting like we didn't see him snap cars in half, as if we didn't see him spin out, as if we didn't see him cause freaking accidents countlessly throughout this entire season. And all of a sudden, he's like this great person for the candidate of a reserve driver. That is a person.
So your version of misunderstood is almost like overrated.
Not even. I'm just saying what Formula One want us at the moment is that they are, do you know what? Like, forget everything that happened with Schumi. He's so privileged that forget everything that happened this season. He's getting that place. And it's like, they're trying to say he's misunderstood. He's not.
Oh.
I see right through it. I understand the guy. It's privilege. That's what we understand right here.
So you're looking at, like the way you look at things, I'm looking at it from in front, but you're looking at it from behind, up top.
Up top.
3D
view. Yeah. I'm
waking up next to it.
Yeah, right. I'm zooming in, I'm scrolling, I'm analysing, I'm texting his mum. Do you know what I mean?
I hear it. Look. Wow.
Yeah.
Let me, on those points, some fantastic nominations there. We've got 10 minutes, right. Fantastic nominations. I'm going to say this. One, Fernando Alonso. Yeah, Fernando Alonso is just Fernando Alonso. I am looking forward to, and the fact that they're teammates next year, both your choices, I think is fascinating. I think Paris, your point on him, especially in the second half of the season, he was not going to back down to Vettel at all. And I really enjoyed that. I think there needs to be more teammates that are going to say, you know what, I'm going to run you off the road, because it makes a difference whether you finish in front of your teammate or not. I'm not saying, look, the Brazil one was a bit mad. I'm not going to lie. Like, that one was like, he shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, what do they have to lose? Like, really? I know you're saying, obviously, like, the cars can get broken. You're talking about points finishes. But how do you assert dominance? Paris, you're waving at me. Did you want to say something? Or no? Okay. So, like, what I would say is that for me, I would rather someone try to assert their dominance over someone who they're perceived to be the number 2 driver to, than just meekly give a place back. When you're fighting for position, I know there's levels to it, and maybe he went over the line, but almost because he's so misunderstood, it's almost as if people expect him to just go around, get his paycheck, do what daddy says. Don't fucking fight for your place because you'll always have that seat there. I want him to do that. We used to say that his favorite profession was painting or plumbing. That's what we were saying at the beginning of the season. So for him to look like, actually, I want to be a racer. I want to be a Formula One driver. I want to see that. I've got no problems. And I can't wait. I hope, I pray that he sticks it on Alonso the same way he stuck it on Vettel, because that is box office stuff for us to talk about.
Fair.
And,
good shout.
And as it, do I think that if I was a team owner where it wasn't my son and my driver was doing that, I would have a big problem. But I'm not
but
a
then
team
again,
owner.
he might go on to then be reserve driver of Mercedes.
Well, and this is what I wanted to say about Mick.
Yeah.
I was saying Mick is dusted from fucking Bahrain, bro. Like, I've been saying Mick is not that guy for a minute. What I will say is this. The first year he came in, he dusted Mazepin by a minute. No one really cares because it was Mazepin. The next season, he's next to Magnussen, and Magnussen does better. It's almost like this season was his rookie season with a decent car that wasn't like an absolute death trap. But the crashes are a problem. I think it'll be good for him to go into the Mercedes program, help to develop hopefully a championship winning car, and to maybe take that experience and go to another team where the car is more stable and hopefully he can show his ability. He is, and this is a very big topic right now, quite possibly the biggest Nepo baby in the world.
Muted.
He is the biggest Nepo. Who is a bigger Nepo baby than Mick Schumacher?
Lily
Honestly,
Allen.
let me know. Who?
Lily Allen.
Lily Allen. Her dad was like a Don, but he wasn't like the greatest movie director in the world. Like Schumacher was one of the, before Hamilton, Schumacher was a Don. That name.
To be honest, okay.
Yeah.
I do feel with Mick, it could either go one way or the other. His PR
for sure.
could either go like friggin' Sunny Delight. Great idea when we were young.
Yeah.
Terrible
But now we're all
older.
turning orange.
You know what I mean? I lost my brain cells on Sunny D when I was 14. I pulled out a razor on a girl in school because I was drinking a lot of that stuff. But that's a story for another day.
Oof.
Anyway.
Yeah, Sunny
Or
D.
it can go in a direction where Beyonce Break My Soul first came out. Slightly annoying single. When we were hearing on the radio, we're like, is Renaissance
Not sure about this.
Then we heard it on the album, we were like, heavy salad. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. I love it. Can I quickly, before we go, because this is a juicy subject, I want to put in my vote. Sorry,
Let's go, Nasha.
Actually, hold on. Before mine. Cam, did you put in your, sorry, Tandy, who was your, oh, did you say yours? Mick, wasn't
I guess
right,
I'm just going to put the Mick point in, yeah.
Okay, cool. Mine was George Russell. Because and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. George Russell is not a snake, okay? George Russell is a young driver on potentially, when he signed, the best team on the grid in self-preservation mode. And I know a lot of Lewis fans, you want someone who's going to come in, bow down, and be like, I worship you, Lewis. I'll do anything you want, Lewis. Whatever you need, I'll be there for you. That's not how Formula One drivers work, okay? George is an ambitious guy. His family have sacrificed all of that. You know, George's brother wanted to be a Formula One driver. And they sacked that guy off because they said, you know what? Your brother's better. Your younger brother, he's actually better than you. So you're the one we're going to put everything into. Like, George has had his own journey. He wants to be Formula One champion. So he's going to be selfish at points. And because of that, I don't think that him not just letting Lewis pass in Brazil because Lewis deserved to win, or him not coming out every 2 minutes and saying, oh, but Lewis was setting up the car. No, because if it was me and I was in that second seat, I would be saying, yes, I did beat Lewis. Yes, I am a good driver. Because you know what that does? It cements my place in the team. It keeps me in the sport. And it makes me look like a competent driver.
And we would like to thank the George Russell Foundation for paying for Nyasha's suit tonight. I
was just thinking, at least you can be honest with yourself, because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't admit that to themselves, that they would probably do a lot of what George does. Me and Tandy have spoken about this a lot. We think next year is going to be the tell, whether or not he's a snake or not, or whether or not he's honest. Do you know what I mean? Like he's come into, like you said, he's come into the team that is Lewis's team, has been Lewis's team, and he has to toe a certain line, but that can only be towed for a certain amount of time. And eventually the gloves will come off and we'll see what he's really about.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, man.
Thoughts on George?
Nasha, my thoughts are this. It's Deja. It's going up on the roof. Watch this now. George GR63 is... I get you. Nothing that you said is incorrect, Nasha. He's self-serving and is a driver. What else would you expect from these F1 drivers? They're here to win, yeah? But exactly what Parry said, man. Go roll this forward into next season. If Lewis Hamilton doesn't gap George Russell the first couple of races, we're going to see fireworks here, because you can't have two number one drivers in one team. Nasha,
I want you to expound on this, because you're very insistent on the fact that if you want to win a world championship, you need to have a number one and a number two driver. So the situation with that Red Bull had this season was favourable to the situation that Ferrari had, where they didn't have a clear number one and number two driver, and they were taking points off each other. Strategy was fucked and all of that. So next season, do you think that Mercedes are at a disadvantage if they don't make one of them the number one driver against obviously Max and Sergio?
Bang. Yeah, exactly that, Nasha. Here's what needs to happen, yeah. Under a specific set of circumstances, as an example, if the W14 is a rocket ship in the same vein that we've seen the RB18 last season, then that's an exception, right? Then you can have George and Lewis taking points out of each other because they're dominant in a very similar way to Max. Had Checo Perez been fighting Max last year, it would have made no difference because no one else was near them, right? So I just look back at history. Anytime you've had two number one drivers, 07 Alonso and Lewis Hamilton, they ultimately lost the championship, right? Because they were too busy taking chunks out of each other's points hauls. Anytime in history you've had two number one drivers and another team capable of taking it to them, it's ended in tears, Nasha. It always ends in tears. And my guy Peter Windsor said he expects this to be 10 times worse next year if Mercedes have a championship winning car than was Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton in 2015, 16 and 14. Mate, it's going to get... Honestly, Nash, I'll put a pin in that one for now, big man, and revisit. Come back in 3-4 months. Come back in 3-4 months and you might be saying... Because you've seen George. You know what George is capable of.
All I will say is this. The decider for me is Toto Wolff. And it's up to Toto Wolff to manage those two effectively. So I would exactly. But I don't think it's not up to George and it's not up to Lewis. All those two can do is drive the car as much as they can and get the results that they can. It is up to Toto Wolff to manage a title-winning season, possibly for the first time, with two drivers who are capable against another team, which we've not seen yet. So I would say that the onus doesn't lie on George, it doesn't lie on Lewis, it lies on Toto Wolff. And it's up to Toto Wolff to decide if you want two competitive drivers finishing first and second, potentially, or you want to almost cut someone's wing, have a disgruntled driver in the garage, have team meetings where people are holding resentment because they're being held back, team orders in the 4th or 5th round. There's a flip side to that, which I think creates toxicity. And I think we have to go racing until someone is the clear winner. I don't know, Tandy, you're looking at me like I'm a dickhead, bro.
I don't know, guys. I just feel like in the laptop like dying and the break and the W13. You really had time to think in it. You really had time. The air's come through your head. Growth. It's growth. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, look. So between us, let's decide. Mm-hmm. Alonso, Mick. Sorry, Paris. It was Lance Stroll. And George Russell. Out of those, you know what? This is the dictatorship. I'm going to let Tandy decide. Who do you think is the most misunderstood?
You guys know, because I'm going to vote for myself. I'm being dead serious.
Okay, cool. There you go. We have Mick Schumacher, Mr. Misunderstood in the Quick Stop Awards. We're gonna go to our next guests now.
I guess misunderstood in the sense that was quite sarcastic, innit?
Yeah. I like that you made an award category and didn't make it as its most obvious one, that you made it as your own kind of little thing, which neither of us kind of...
You rigged it and let me vote for myself.
Well, I had to, because what you built was something that I could not administer. So that is fine. That is fine. Brick by brick. But look, Paris, we wanted to say thank you. I wanted to give people flowers on this section because we want to appreciate people. We want to let you know that as someone who started at the same time as us and as someone helped to break down barriers in F1, we really appreciate everything that you and Maz do over on the chicane, but also you personally, the support you've given to me and Tandy. I know Tandy, we really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah. Paris drops me text.
Thank you guys. Being just yourselves. Say that again, Tandy.
I said Paris drops me text to make sure I'm alive. I always say to people, like, in real life, me and Paris are actually friends. Do you know what I mean? We're friends.
My babes.
Yeah, like what I see, like a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these content creators, like people make content for clout or for the numbers or to kind of just tick a box. Paris eats out my house, aka Nyash's house.
I genuinely have big love.
It's my
house.
Big love for you guys, man. Big love, because you guys do it. You do it hard. You do it well. Cameron, you too. You guys all put out amazing content. You've worked so hard the last couple of years, and I'm just proud to be coming up at the same time as you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bess. And Cameron, we appreciate you, brother. Thank you. In the same way that Paris and Tandy are close, we are close, and it's been really good to be able to pick your brain at times, but also just to see the level of attention to detail that you give to every video, the community you have over there. Congrats on reaching 10K subscribers as well. It's a big monument, and I just wanted to say we appreciate you and congratulations on all your success this year.
Oh, bruv. Straight back at you, man, and congratulations, Paris, for all the good work that you do on the chicane. Of course, big up Black Women in F1, and then of course congratulations to yourself, Tandy and Nasha. Absolutely shelling down the place with Quick Stop F1 live shows, all that good stuff. Listen, onwards and upwards. Purple sectors only.
Purple sectors only, bro. Don't want to see no yellow things.
What does that mean?
Tandy, when you set a purple sector, it's like the fastest part. My God. So, I might actually get him to cut that out. So thank you guys.
It's so long.
Thank you guys for joining the podcast. I'm going to ask you politely to leave and we'll get the next guest on. Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Okay, next guest on the show, we have the girl with the updates, the girl with the knowledge, articles, timings, technical knowledge.
I know that's right.
That's right. What more do you want from her? We have one and only FIA girlie, aka Deni. How you doing?
Hello, I am good. I am exhausted, but I'm so happy to be here and to be part of this little party, Christmas party thing, New Year's Eve, even though I'm not ready for it, dressed to the occasion.
That's fine. Look,
you're right on time. You're right on time.
You're on time. That's all that matters. And, that's
all that matters.
There's a private joke between all of us, and we'll carry on. So, Deni, how are you? Thanks for coming to Quick Stop Live. Did you enjoy it?
Thank you. Did I enjoy being here? Do I enjoy being here?
Quick Stop Live. Did you enjoy the live show that we done?
Oh, right. Quick Stop Live. I absolutely loved it. Oh my days. I was literally telling my dad, I was like, it's so nice to have people online to message you, be like, Deni, I appreciate your work. But then when you meet them and you're like, these are real people, But then I think for me, most importantly is, I think FIA Girlie lost a sense of like the touch with reality with people. And I think sometimes people forget that is a real person that has like 3 screens and is updating you, but it's still a real person. I think it was so nice for people to actually look at me and be like, and he was like, wait, I know you. And I'm like, do you? Like, yeah, you're Deni. And I'm like, oh shit, that's me. And so it was so nice to actually talk to people. So I'm like so grateful for that opportunity, because I don't think I would have gotten that anywhere else, especially because it's like, Black people, and it felt like, oh, this is my community literally looking at me and being like, Deni, you're amazing, you do this. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. So it was absolutely loved it. So
heavy on the people losing touch of who you are because you're on the internet but you're actually a real person. I definitely have blurred those lines in the past year, and just
okay,
especially when you're a woman, you just
know what I mean?
It's just like, you know what? They get used to that little icon and they think that is all you have. That's all to your personality, is that little picture on your profile. But it's not, it's, you get me?
For sure. And you know what? I can't relate because I'm not a woman and I'm not going to be in women's business. So I can only sympathize whilst I would like to empathize.
Unless it's Kelly Peking.
Pardon?
Unless it's Kelly Peking.
Fuck that. So, I stopped myself saying something even worse. But no, Quick Stop Live was good. No, it is nice. It is nice being recognized outside of the pod or whatever online.
I was on my way back from work and I was on the phone to my friend Rochelle. Shout out Rochelle.
Baby girl.
I looked terrible. And I remember someone stopping me outside Liverpool Street and being like, I know who you are. That's what they love to approach. I know who you are.
Yeah. Oh shit.
It's so scary as well because you're like, dude,
you're black. Things, yeah.
Shout out the guy I saw Kendrick as well.
Is it?
Yeah, no, that was cool. Someone saw me. Someone was sitting in like a few seats down from me at Kendrick. They're like, "Hey, cool stuff." So that was lovely. I hope you had a great time at the show. Right. So we've just got you, Deni. So let's do the next awards on our Christmas special end of year award show. Okay. So Deni, I'm going to ask you for your nomination for the most overrated driver award. Who do you think has been applauded too much, given too much kudos for their drives, or who do you think just generally has a reputation which doesn't match up to what they actually do?
Overrated is so hard because I think like every driver has like their own thing, and hiccups happen in F1. In 2022 is, I will say, Mick Schumacher.
Nicholas.
I wouldn't say he's an overrated driver overall, as in he has no talent, people just applauding him. He's like 2022 was a year of scraps, and it was the year of we need to make sure Mick gets good hype so he doesn't lose his seat. That's what he felt for Mick. He's like, okay, he had good races in times where he like held up Lewis and battled Lewis and stuff like that, but Kevin just absolutely showed what you can do in the house. Do you get me? Like, he stepped in and he stood out and he was like, this is what we can do. We can literally have the car on pole, even if it's by mistake. He was still on pole. That's why he got pole. And so I think most overrated 2022, just so we're clear, I'm not saying he's a shit driver, but I feel like Mick was on scraps this year. So I'm going to give him my most overrated driver.
Dandy, do you think if Mick Schumacher was Butters, he'd have as many fans?
No, and I think if his last name wasn't Schumacher, he wouldn't have as much fans either.
And if he didn't have blue eyes,
if he didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes. Not that there's anything against blonde hairs and blue eyes. Yeah, nothing against blonde hair and blue eyes.
Okay, cool.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, of course, people with blonde hair and blue eyes is absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything against it.
Yeah, it's a Shumi name, innit? It's what I was just saying before.
I think that sorry, just some noise happening in no. Sorry. So I just think that we've already spoke on this podcast earlier with other guests about, the Nepo baby kind of privilege that Mick has, right? We've spoken about that. I think that Mick is in this vortex of like Nepo baby and pretty privilege. No. Could you close this door, please? Just close the door. Thank you. I just think Mick is in Nepo baby times pretty privilege, like vortex, where that TikTok of him getting into a race suit is genuinely the best thing he's done this year. That's the best thing he's done. If I said to someone, what's your most remarkable Mick Schumacher memory? They're going to say the TikTok where he looked into the camera and put on his little race suit. That's it. That is it. That's not good enough. I'm just saying. And look, he won F3. He won F2. Everyone said, like, he needs a couple of seasons to adjust. You can't do them things there, bro. This is F1. George won F3, F2, went straight into F1, blitzed his teammate. Charles, F3, F2, came into F1, blitzed his teammates. Okay? There is teammates. Yeah. So there's even George teammates in Williams. So there's a standard expected. If you're that guy, you can't be crashing your car and causing your team millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds.
That they don't have.
Bro.
That they don't have.
Let me tell you now, there's been times where I've tried to date out of my wallet capabilities. Okay? And I couldn't keep up.
Do that.
Hey, all the young guys out there, if there's a babes that is out of your wallet capabilities, leave her there. Let her go be with a guy that can fulfill her needs, because you'll be eating beans just so you can go to Hakkasan or the Shard or some shit like that, bro. Like,
you know what? You can actually just tell when you're on a date with a guy who can't afford this date. I can smell it on you.
You can smell it. You know, they're looking at the menu. They're looking at the sides. They're like, babe,
when I pick a wine.
Yeah. Oh wait, you want a cocktail? Another one. I can feel you. I can feel you intense.
That's why you got to split the bill, guys. So that is me.
Oh, she picked the wine, and you didn't even know what you're reading.
Bro, just get the house wine. House wine. Okay, look. You look at a babe snap and they're at Nando's all the time, and then they're telling you need to. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Tandy. Tandy.
We went from Mick to don't die for the bait.
No, I'm saying Tandy. Who's your choice for most overrated?
Yeah, so Tandy does not. I've not been on dates in Nando since I was in year 5, mate.
Why are you going on dates when you're fucking 10? That's mad. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mate date. Just because you had no mates in primary school. Just say you didn't have any mates.
We weren't going Nando's. Tell you that for free. We're going. That was bougie. Anyway, neither here nor there. Tandy. Do you ever know Mr. Overrated, most overrated driver? Who's that?
I do.
Who's that?
And the agenda started very, very early. It started very early. Started in Bahrain, I could smell it.
You can smell it. First race of the season.
Smell it. It was stinking. I said, who is this guy that you man keep gassing?
Oh no.
Who was it?
Kevin Magnussen.
Oh my God. Teammates.
She just
right. You're talking to me, yeah. Kevin Magnussen is the most overrated person, and you know when you're making all your little you're making your little edits and you're putting them online, you know you're gassing it. You know it's delusion that's driving those edits. You know it's delusion when you're gassing it up, when you're liking the post, when you're reposting it, when you're going, yes, K-Mag society. There is no society. He is very overrated. He when he got 5th place, and ever since then he's only ever got 10 and above.
What about the pole position in Brazil?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, to let me play devil's advocate. Deni, could you say that Mick Schumacher is overrated because he has a teammate next to him who, whatever that teammate does, they will be rated really high, right? So Mick Schumacher is not a good driver. Let's just say that, right? Or no, Mick Schumacher is not a top tier driver. So it doesn't really matter who came into that Haas seat. No matter what they did, they would always look like someone who was a very good driver. So I guess in retaliation, and to put your own case forward, is Kevin Magnussen a very good F1 driver who never had the opportunity at a good team, or are his performances almost ballooned, or you always have to preface them against the fact that he was against a Mick Schumacher who was not maybe at the level that you would expect for an F1 driver?
I can't lie. I feel like I just went back to GCSE. Now my history essay question.
Yeah, 10 marks.
It's like pre-base.
So you're working.
What do you think? No, absolutely. I wouldn't disagree that Mick has had. The thing about Mick, what he's capable of doing, and one thing that you mentioned a lot was crashing. You don't need to be top driver. You need to be getting poles. You just need to complete your lap. Do you get me? And for me to come online and to hype someone that can't even finish a qualifying session or a practice session without crashing this car.
Sound like Verstappen fans talking about Saudi Arabia.
It's basically, he's like, oh, he didn't finish, but you know it's there. We just need to, next time when he finished, we're gonna, when you miss that, you cook something and there's no salt, and then you're like, it's good, I promise you, there's just no salt, it's just no seasoning, but next time I'll season and you like it. It's basically something like that. I wouldn't say, because I think he didn't measure up to Nikita as much. I don't remember Nikita's season like that because I don't really follow Mazepin.
Nikita Mazepin, like, do you mean? So
it's not hard to do that. That's the issue with you guys.
Exactly. See, so it wouldn't be my overrating him be on teammate basis, because we understand people have different talents and you can't really compare them directly, perhaps. But for me, it's just he's not given. You're kind of like left, like your mouth's watering, and you're like, oh, you kind of want to see what he's doing, and he just never does it. That's why I would overrate him. But I think it's because also he's in a team that needs a driver to carry the team, and Mick is at a stage where he needs to be carried. That's why I think his contract with Mercedes is going to absolutely help him, because Mercedes have nothing to lose. They can literally just cater, and give to Mick and be like, okay, here's all our knowledge. Here's all our sims, all hours you need. Come, and then we'll build you as a driver. And then a team like Haas, a team like Williams, for instance, they need drivers that can just produce results because they depend on those drivers. And I think Mick is overrated because you can't depend on him. Can't say, I need a really good qualifying session. I need a good practice session to put on a show for my sponsors and say, hey, Mick, are you free? You're not going to do that because you're scared half the time that he's going to crash your car. That reason, it wouldn't be because of teammates. It's because obviously he owns Mazepin and then now Magnussen. So it wouldn't be solely because of teammates, but it would definitely be because when I want to talk about Mick, I have scraps and I'm like grasping. I'm thinking, oh yeah, he held up Lewis there, but then his teammate did so much better that, it's just like, there's nothing of substance for me to hold on to and say, this is why he's good and he just needs a good car. And this year was just ass.
Fair play. Okay, some good choices there. My vote for most overrated driver of the year is I'm going to go with Sergio Perez.
Oh, that's a big one.
I'm going to go with Sergio Perez,
Do we still do gunshots in this podcast? Are we done over that?
Oh gosh, sweet.
We still did gunshots here.
We outgrew the gunshots. We were like, you know what? We didn't know. We just technically, because Tandy's internet kept cutting out on the program that we used to do it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
It's always Tandy. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Wait till next year I announce my podcast, my separate podcast.
Yeah, what is that? Okay,
with gunshots and hooking and
you
swearing.
Could promote it alongside your Instagram, the same way you did during the live show where you could. Anyway, so yeah.
You know what? You have to hate it. You have to hate it because he can't even remember his own Instagram password, so he can't. Instagram, so it flogged me every time I make a collaborative post on my Instagram with my podcast, which I make content on. Remember your password, and maybe you can do it too.
I'll make the process.
Get your pussy game up, bro, please.
My pussy game is weak. That's the problem. So
that is a wild thing to admit on camera, mate.
Well, look, I'm honest. Okay, I am honest. If anything. So look, Sergio, look. I'm going to say most overrated. Yeah, Sergio, if you were a big man, you would have just passed Max in Brazil. If you were a big man, you would have kept Max behind in Azerbaijan instead of the team telling you no fighting, like they were Tommy Shelby. Yeah. You would have just fucking kept him behind you. If you were a big man, you wouldn't have let Red Bull leak them pictures of you with those little chiquitas on the yacht in Monaco. Okay?
You went fight back, nigga! Fight back! He said chiquitas, not the chiquitas! Oh my God! Fight back!
All I'm saying, coming out. All I'm saying is this, Sergio. Yeah, who's leaking that? No, none of Sergio's camp is leaking that. Yeah, so who leaked it? I'm telling you now. Kelly Piqué is there in the corner of a camera, like I got you. Bang.
No, but listen, Kelly actually
on nachos and tacos.
She submits pictures in this influent blog thing. I don't know. I saw some. I thought a friend of mine sent something the other day. It was like this influencer taking Christmas pictures. It was like October. And then Kelly was the one who submitted it. So she's at the beach. She sees someone doing something. She snaps pictures and then she sends to this viral page that posts like influencers. So she might
Look,
have.
if there's anything...
Kelly, don't sue me.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, see me. I've got nothing to give. So
Look at his mic. Does he look like he's got anything to
look
give?
at his mic. Look at it.
No, it is fancy, you know. You holding it like that. It looks like one of those talk shows.
I feel like, I feel like I may be hosting like Miss Universe.
Yeah.
She's got style. She's got grace. Miss
Obviously,
Universe.
Tandy's taking it because I'm in a
Yeah, Tandy. Miss Zimbabwe. What would you do if you had one wish? What would you use that one wish for?
I would make the world a better place, giving after the environment, a world where children will not starve, a world where we never have
All right, that's enough. So back to
I was about to say something.
I'm sorry.
A world where we never have to see Max Verstappen get a cover on a magazine ever again.
Preach amen.
Vote for her.
You know what? The winner of Miss Universe 2022. Tandy Sabanda, Zimbabwe. Oh my God. Tandy, you've won. What have you got to say?
I'd like to shout out my co-host Nyasha. I'd like to shout out my friend Deni. And I'd like to shout out you, Lewis. I'll catch you after the show.
There you go.
She said, you, Lewis. Very personal.
Once I've got you, actually.
How do women flirt?
Yeah, women, that's you. Women need to be better at flirting.
I do flirt. I flirt great. Have you ever seen me flirt?
I just look at people. No. I can't lie.
Back in the day.
Look at people
I don't want to see you flirt.
my way.
Back in the day, I used to flirt. There was one Valentine's Day. I'll insert the picture here. Remind me to send. There was one Valentine's Day. I got a total of 5 bouquets of roses. Beautiful Valentine's Day.
Wait, from them to you?
Yeah, of course.
Flirting.
How was that you flirting? How was that you flirting if 5 thirsty niggas send you a bouquet of flowers? That's just you. That's just your power. That's just your power.
That's just her way of flirting.
I keep telling you, get your pussy game up.
I'm sorry, it's weak. What do you want me to do? I don't think I've ever. No.
Step into 2023.
2023.
Being grateful for pussy power, and then you get it. Like you manifest it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to be honest, 2023, I'm coming off the streets. It's over. It's done.
That pussy got power.
Back to Sergio Perez.
Back to Sergio Perez. Actually, no. I actually wanted to ask you quickly, Andy, and maybe Deni as much as you can. You made a distinction between good corny and bad corny the other day, which I thought was quite interesting.
On Twitter?
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Pertaining to our good brother-in-arms, Lewis Hamilton, and who was the opposite?
Drake,
right? So Drake and Lewis Hamilton, 2 very prominent light-skinned niggas, right? For you, both got money, both achieved, almost you could say all there is to achieve. Pardon?
I'm not attracted to money.
Not attracted to money. She's both achieved everything that they could have achieved in their field. But for you, one is like a bad corny and one is a good corny. For the good listeners at home, what's the distinction between the corny?
So Drake drops lyrics about other women. Drake's definitely the type of guy who likes to gossip about other women to you. He's the type to come with information that you did not even volunteer about another woman to you. Drake recently got a necklace which has like 40 diamonds, which is every time he wanted to propose to a woman, get off it. Like 42. 42. Do you know what I mean? Like non-committal. Lewis Hamilton, light skin as fuck. does his little light-skinned mirror selfies, shares a plate with his puppy, wears pink trousers every now and then, goes jogging, always topless, but loves the environment. Lewis is likely to kind of be like, Lewis, I'm not gonna lie, is a dirty Mac kind of guy. He's the type to tell you, you do not need that man. But on kind of like
Mario, you should let me love you kind of vibes.
Kind of like like Michael Jackson. You know, like Michael Jackson.
Maybe I just don't get it.
You know Michael Jackson in the Rock My World video?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, very, come on, Tito. Tito, he's out of my life. You know what I mean?
You've literally mentioned like 3 different Michael Jackson songs in the same reference.
Exactly. And that's what, do you know what? When Lewis talks, he reminds me of MJ, you know? Like, he does. He does. It's a softly spokenness.
I don't see it.
And it's
I don't see it.
I see it.
I see it.
I don't see it.
I think, no. Like, you know what? Let me just put this because to me, Michael Jackson loved the chase. And if you notice, all of these songs are The Way You Make Me Feel is chasing you. Chase.
Okay, let me give you.
Never was talking about
always, let me chase. And then Lewis, I think, is more of like I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna look your way. You're gonna see me looking. You're gonna come, and then we're gonna do the thing. And then I'm going to slide you this paper under the table so you sign it.
NDA, sign that.
Yeah, exactly. Sign it. And then...
You know what I mean? Just like MJ made Dirty Diana. He obviously wanted to shag Diana. Do you know what I mean?
Did you see? He comes outside and he says, I want to shag you and I'm going to get you get me.
But
like,
MJ is not the type to be like, yeah, that song was about you, because when Diana... Princess Diana actually came up to him and she said, I love that song Dirty Diana. He was actually really embarrassed. He was really shy.
He wasn't shy. It was because sometimes girls come up to me and they're like, oh, quick, stop it, and their boyfriend's there and they're mean mugging. And you're like, hey, brother, I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not doing anything. Prince Charles was right there. And Diana's like, oh, I really love the song Dirty Diana. That's my favorite song.
She said, I'm wet off that song, Louis. My husband's right there, but me wet.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I feel like Drake is the type to just be like, he comes up to you in a bar, he goes, I can get you as many Chanel bags as you want by tomorrow.
By tomorrow.
Like,
express delivery.
Okay, but do you even have a personality? And then he walks away. And then he releases a song. That is what I say. And then he releases a song in June. And it's called Tandy's Interlude. And you only had 2 seconds of conversation about him.
Slow down, dirty. You can
because honestly, Drake does look like the type
Text go green.
Young thing. Okay. Yeah, no, he's a weirdo.
Anyway, he looks like the type of light skin to come up to you and like beg to be with you, and like, mate.
Drake looks like the kind of guy that will be like, like off the rip. Drake will be like, "I'll eat the cat," like straight.
Yeah, everyone left him, which is weird because how many girls are you doing that with? And how
like everyone.
Yeah,
doing.
Yeah.
Anyway, sex positive.
Do you know what I mean? And the whole begging, I can go on about.
We can go on anyway. We've distinguished between Lewis and Drake.
I'll tell you what they both do have in similar. They both change their accents, which I think is a very light-skinned trait.
Look, yeah, they're straddling both sides. What can you
mean?
We were on Most Overrated Driver. You guys said Kevin and Mick, and after that long interlude around Drake and Michael Jackson and Mick Schumacher and Lightskin, and shout out all of our Mixed Race listeners. Who was I going to say? Oh, Sergio. Right. Sergio, you're trash. So, between us three, Mick, Kevin, Sergio. It's a dictatorship. Tandy gets to decide. Tandy, who is the most overrated driver of 2022?
I'm actually gonna go with Deni's option. Oh, wait.
You were on track, girl. Go back. You missed your exit line.
We said overrated. Yeah. I didn't even, Deni, I'm just going to say to you right now, I didn't even realize anybody rated Mick until obviously he got this recent gig. No, I've mentioned this in the pod earlier.
Fairs.
That Sergio one really threw me off. I never expected that to come out of your mouth. I never expected it.
You know,
I never expected it.
The Minister of Defense.
I don't understand how someone could continually not out-qualify their teammate, finish behind their teammate, have their teammate not even have respect for them enough to let them past.
It's called,
and then you're telling me
corruption.
Not even his teammate's mom has respect for them.
Bro, not even his teammate's mum. His teammate's mum was out in his personal business on social media. And you're telling me that I'm supposed to rate this driver? Do you think George... Hey, let me tell you now. Do you think George, real talk right now, I'm telling you now.
What is this agenda? Like, did he pay for your suit? If he paid for your suit, just say, did he pay for your retwist?
I recognize a real one when I see him.
We get it.
Okay. You know what? Do you think Carlos Sainz would take the treatment that Sergio Perez has taken this year?
To be honest, I was going to say my next overrated is Carlos.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That is, you have an agenda against Carlos Sainz. You have an agenda.
Never that.
You have a big agenda against Carlos.
He deserves that hype, bro. If there's someone that deserves a hype that isn't like top driver right now, is Carlos Sainz.
You haven't. I don't know. The thing is, I feel like you expect so much from Carlos Sainz, and then he gives what he's supposed to give. But then the discrepancy between what you want from him and what he gives is quite large. So you're never happy with whatever he does.
What have I told you about emailing my therapist?
I'm just saying. I know you so well.
Anyway, since I get to decide.
You get to decide.
I'm going to have to give it to you with this theory, but this is actually one I'd love for people to actually have a conversation about on Twitter, because I think it's a very great debate. Yeah, it's a good. But I will give it to Nyasha for now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, Sergio Perez, well done. You are the most overrated.
Albeit Deni, 2022. I do think Mick is a problem. Is an ongoing problem, and the rebranding of Mick Schumacher could be very, very, very detrimental for the future of Formula One.
Wrong words. Right. I like this one. Next award, final award for this section, the Good Riddance Award.
Oh,
Andy, after you.
You know, in secondary, in secondary school, where like it was the last day, you just did like the S Club 7 play, goodbye, my friend, and then people.
That's Spice Girls.
Okay. Okay, you did the S Club 7, never had a dream come true. It was sad, your mum took pictures and you're going to miss your classmate.
You got a little shirt signed.
Yeah, and everyone, and then like the popular kids were like crying and you're like, why are you crying? You've never spoken to me in my life. In fact, you used to call me fish lips and you used to compare me to stuff from Shark Tale. But that's neither here or there.
Oh, God.
But I wasn't crying.
I know you weren't.
I stood there with a dry eye, drier than Gandhi's toenail, drier than the Saharan desert. I
know who you're going to say.
I did not shed a single tear. And this was the person who needed to go. Good riddance, Latifi. Goodbye. You will not be missed, sir. Nobody misses you. Your toothbrush, it's absent in the bathroom and I could not give a fuck. You're the tree that was chopped down and I do not miss the shade.
Wow. She said, I'd rather get sunburnt than stand under the Latifi shade.
Yeah. Anyone who's a fan of Latifi is not a person to be trusted. Like, honestly, if someone turned around and said to you, hey, I'm a Latifi stan, would you not kind of feel kind of uncomfortable?
Do you know what's mad? Even Canadians don't rate Latifi.
And Canadians, the most loveliest people on the earth.
There's one driver that does not have a fan base. Is Nicholas Latifi. Even Stroll has a fan base, okay? Lance Stroll has a fan base. People get upset over Lance Stroll.
All these Formula One drivers.
Do you know what I mean?
All these Formula One drivers are sponsored by Hublot, cool watches, cool, like, Hugo Boss, all these cool brands. My man gets sent Nutella. And that's who you want to rate. Nutella.
Nutella's so shit.
Good riddance, broski. He's his life. But
Deni, do you agree with Tandy's choice for yeah?
Good riddance. I was going to say Latifi as well. I was expecting someone to drop a bomb and say something like Ricciardo, and I was like, whoa. But yeah, I was going to say Latifi as well.
I'm kind of scared of the Ricciardo snap.
There's nothing iconic to this man so much that he's became jokes on the internet. So like Goatee is based off the Abu Dhabi scandal and all of that nonsense. Like there is no one. Everyone wants to be a Formula One driver. Everyone wants to get there. Getting there is good. But for you to leave after 2 years with no name to yourself, you can't even go on a sponsorship meeting and say, I was a Formula One driver, because your resume just doesn't scream Formula One driver. You get me?
Yeah.
So exactly. Like you need to put up a Google, like Google me, please Google me. Like there's people that step into a room and like, oh, that's George Russell. He's a Formula One driver. That's Norris. That's a Formula One driver. And Latifi has to say, please, you can Google me. I promise you, I was there.
He can go to Tesco and no one will ever stop him and say hi.
Exactly. Does he even have a signature of his own?
Trust me. He can go to Tesco freely. Please shop. You're a resident. You are a pedestrian.
Broski.
Well, yeah.
Who are you gonna say, Yasha?
Look, it's Latifi. I think with like Vettel and Ricciardo, it's almost like an end of an era with those two going. And obviously Vettel is a lot more permanent. Ricciardo, I think, is definitely preying on Sergio Perez's downfall. And hoping that, if Perez, yeah, 100%, right? Sometimes you got a side chick,
do it.
Like you got a side chick, and they're telling you, you talk to them, oh, my girlfriend's not doing this, she's not doing that, and they're like, oh, I do all of that for you, baby, and maybe it should be better, but like, I'm just saying, no, that's not personal experience, but like, I think it's not. I think that. It's those two are actually, the Formula One grid is bland enough as it is. And as much as I have reservations about anything I said about Vettel was because I knew that he didn't want to be there anymore. Anything I said about Vettel was looking at a man who had almost not given up, but almost consigned himself to the fact that he will never win a world title again. And when you take that kind of determination and motivation away from someone, you stick him in a shit car, whether that's a Ferrari, whether that's an Aston Martin, they are a shell of themselves. And my only criticism of Vettel was the heights that he had were so high. Where he is now is such a downturn from that. And people are happy to say about Lewis not winning a race this season, Lewis has fallen off, whatever. But if I say about Vettel spinning every other race, being dusted by Charles Leclerc, being run off the road by Lance Stroll, if I say that that's the sign of a driver who is not at the peak of his powers, all of a sudden I'm public enemy number one. So for me, it's almost sad that we're losing Vettel and Ricciardo, who are more than just PR answers, and they are characters. And you look at the new age people coming through, like now Ricardo's gone, now Vettel's gone. Who really are we going to look to for like any kind of entertainment from the interviews and the press conferences? Like, it's going to be quite dry. And as a fan of F1, the product, I think we're losing out. So for me, like, I'm actually not happy that I respect their careers, and it's almost a bit sad that they're going, because, like I said, it's the end of an era. With Latifi, get the fuck out of it, bro. Honestly, get out. Leave. Not only have you contributed to the worst sporting day of my life, and I support Arsenal. I've been in the trenches. But for Latifi to just be as bad as he has been, to get dusted by Nick de Vries in one race, to just be, honestly, an absolute, I would say, stain on the standard of F1. And I think it's good. I think he's the last paid driver that we've got, unless unless you count Logan Sargent, maybe. I don't know what his pay situation is, but I think we're looking at the last of the phasing out of drivers who are so bad that they shouldn't be there, but they're paying to be there. And I think that's a good thing. So I think we can agree that Nick Latifi, good riddance award.
He won't be missed.
Will not be missed.
To the left. Everything you earned and a bag to the left.
Box, no?
Box.
Yeah, box.
Like, I just know coming into 2023, people are still going to put our tweets saying stuff like, can't believe Vettel isn't really here. It's just something that Ricciardo isn't on the starting grid. No one's going to say that about Latifi, bro. No one's going to remember this guy.
He's not.
He's going to be excited for the next guy.
The fact Mazepin has more fans than Latifi, I think, says everything, to be honest. So, like, I don't know what else you want us to say about that. But look, this has been lovely. Deni, we're giving people their flowers on the show, so we wanted to say to you, well done on this year. Congratulations. It's been incredible seeing your growth. It's been incredible seeing the amount of... I'm not going to lie, I did find it a little bit mad. People like, what am I going to do if you're not going to update me? Because you're at Quick Stop Live. But that is.
I would like to say that Deni is obviously become a friend this year. Like, we've met up, we've had food, we've had drinks.
That's nice.
Deni not only gives F1 updates, she does the investigative skills, and recently she did a little bit of investigating for me, and for that I'm forever grateful. She knows what she did. Women are powerful people.
You knew at this point.
People.
You're like this, isn't it?
Women are powerful people.
The FBI can
pussy power, bro. And this, like, the person who she found for me does not even live in this country, by the way. I got information on someone all the way in Portugal. So, shout out the Angolans, shout out Deni, shout out the Mozambicans, shout out... Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, this completely went
FIA girlie.
I wanted to say.
FIA girlie, she's going to find out for you, and she's going to give you report. I was given report. I asked for it at 1:00 and I got it by 1:30. Straight to my desk. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I guess on top of everything I said, and, add to what Tandy said.
Oh my God, Yasha, you're great. What? Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, look, we appreciate it. So what were you saying?
Sorry, I was saying this was I think it was a turbulent year. Then when I think of it, it's only my first year. Like, well, obviously it's going to be onto my second year, but I was just deep in how I only started FIA Girly last year, June. And I honestly, I can only be grateful. And people like you really helped me. Like, I still, sometimes when I do stuff, I still remember you getting on a Zoom call with me and Yash and be like, Deni, step the fuck out of it. Like you just clocked in and was like, you're thinking business now. You're thinking you're a whole person that has to cater for an image of someone people already depend on, kind of. So I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the shoulders to cry on and being like the big sister and big brother that some people need sometimes, because also it's so easy to get lost in the community, so easy to, especially as Black people, I think people don't make that connection, but I think as Black people you can feel sometimes that discrepancy of these people that do the same thing as me are so loved and so embraced, and I am the wannabe, the Walmart, I get all the names. Why is it? And it's not because we're doing different things. It's never that. And so to have people that actually see you for who you are and like, Deni, you need to come here, you're gonna love this and have drinks and I really appreciate it. So you guys were a major part of my year.
It's really nice. Thank you so much. And it goes both ways. So look, Deni, thank you for coming on. I'm just going to talk to Tandy for a little bit and educate her about purple sexes. So I'm going to ask you to leave the podcast for now.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming to our Christmas party.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Toodle pip.
We
Tandy.
so much this year, you know. This year we were in big Vanity Fair. Do you know that?
It started with Vanity Fair.
And then it went on to Neon Magazine.
Nylon Magazine.
Nylon Magazine. Hi.
Oh, shit. By the way, India, thank you for promoting our shirt in your article at the end of the year. I was mid-depression.
What article?
She put the shirt in an article like things to buy.
Could you send this to me, please?
I didn't see it until like
going
2
on
weeks
Instagram
later.
right now. I'm so sorry, India, that I did not promote it.
Sorry.
I will always promote it. What the hell?
Yeah, I only realized like 2 weeks later. So thank you, India, for promoting that, and I think it did help. So we appreciate that. Tandy, obviously. I know you. How have you found this year? Second year?
I'm sorry, 2 seconds.
It was so clear what you said. For those on the audio version, and he was not very kind to her. Whoever was making noise in the house.
You know what? When I say I'm recording, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Tandy, 2022. So yeah, we had the Vanity Fair. Then we had Nylon Mag.
Yeah.
We released some merch that didn't go so well.
Oh my god, was that? Mine somewhere.
I've got one. I've got it. I was on a podcast with Dens at the end of the season, and he was wearing his version, and I said, "There's only 9 versions of those, or 11. There's 11 versions of those in the world. So, like, when we get big, that ugly T-shirt,
you need to bin that.
Like, oh no, you bin it. But that's gonna be like a rare quick stop F1
a piece. Yeah,
no, that's like a rare piece. But we released some merch, didn't go well. We released some other merch that has gone really well, and we're really grateful. We've done 2 live shows.
2 live shows, both sold out. We had some great guests.
Double guests.
Darius.
Yes, Darius. We've had Miro. We've had who else? Oh man. Who else we had? This is bad. Tommy, Brad, obviously. I think what I would say is it's been the expansion of the guests has been great. So for us to have, the reason we mention those two is because to have like a former NFL player, to have Miro, who is Miro, like we even had the stat guy on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, I didn't make that episode, did I?
You didn't know. You didn't know.
I don't think they liked that episode.
No one liked that episode. No.
Yeah. I did an episode on my own.
And you did an episode on your own. Why was that? Did I have COVID or something?
You were sick. You were
sick as fuck.
Dog, yeah. You were really sick.
It's crazy.
Oh, nah. Quick Stop is the most sick. Are we on 2 years? Yeah. When's this?
So we start. I mean, yeah, we start. When the 2-year anniversary will be March next year. Man, fuck, we've got an editor, Chris.
We've got Chris and Mario.
We've got producer Mario. We've got the Twitch contract.
Yeah.
There's so many things that we've done. So I guess all of those things. How have you felt about this year?
I have, do you know, some people like I like what month are we in? December right now?
December, yeah.
And I released my Central C show review, and some people were saying to me like, I thought you'd completely like left music, like Quick Stop has just been your main thing. And honestly, last year, if you had said to me that majority of my stuff is Quick Stop, that I'd be so submerged in Formula One that I am. I'd have told you, not me, doggy. That's all Nyasha. So I think it's quite nice that I have really, really, really taken on Quick Stop. I can't believe we've got a 2-year-old. That's crazy.
Fuck, I've got Netflix as well.
Oh, yeah, I've got Netflix.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, look, on the same level, like, I've shut down the food thing, right?
Yeah.
And at no point when we started this, I always just thought it was just going to be me and you talking to about 20 people, and we just get to talk about F1, and we do a podcast every other week, and whenever the race was, and we just get these feelings that we used to just tweet about F1, and no one would reply to us. Other than me and you just replying to each other.
Yeah, to each other. And now it's actually like
a business. It's like a thing.
Yeah, like people actually know a lot. Like I got someone tweet me back the other day, like Scouse women love hard. And I was thinking, how the fuck do you know I'm Scouse? I remember shit, my voice is all over the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, like, I think this year compared to last year, if I was gonna put something on it, would be that I feel like last year everything was like really new and we were just kind of fumbling about, but like this year it really feels like I've really felt the support this year. Like I really feel like this year, whereas last year I kind of felt like, I think we've got something. If we do this and if we do that, maybe we can grow. But I really felt this year like we've really got the support of you guys listening and watching. And honestly, like, I don't even know how this podcast is going to turn out, but the way that you guys kind of ride for us and support us and being recognized, like, it's mad. Like, honestly, I can't describe it to you. Obviously, some of you may know because you may have your own things, but I guess I'm kind of used to being noticed in London because I used to have a food blog and whatever. I never expected to get noticed for a Formula One podcast. That is crazy.
Yeah, like, that's cool, isn't it?
To be in a rave, like a fucking in a cloakroom, to be in a rave. Like,
people are shouting F1 Twitter, Quick Stop F1, yo, F1 Twitter.
It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. Like, and I just think that also, I just want to say, shout out to all our American fans. 75% of our merch goes to America.
I love you guys.
That is crazy.
Let me give a shout out to someone who actually, I was feeling a bit down the other day. Do you know what? if you are depressed, start a Formula One podcast or start a platform, because you will have people in your like messages always just gassing you up and being super
really nice. Yeah, really nice.
He was so nice to me. He told me, he messaged me saying, Tandy, I love you. And I was just like, Liam Kennedy.
Big on Liam.
His sister has a vintage clothing shop that I'm going to check out as well. It's called
nice.
Spunky Funky Fresh. So if you want vintage clothes in America, Spunky Funky Fresh. Shout out Liam. Oh, and he sent me a picture of him on the floor in a shop with some pillows wearing our Lewis Hamilton top.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, for example, if we hadn't released the merch, and Tandy's mic got broken, we'd have had to replace it out of our own pocket. If we hadn't released the merch and all my shit got flooded, I'd have to replace it out of my own pocket. But we're really lucky that because of your support, we can like invest back in, we can pay headers, we can do all kinds of things. And I'm just honestly really grateful. I guess, not to be like super soppy, but it's honestly changed our lives. It's really changed our lives. And I guess whenever you do listen to this podcast, whether it's Christmas Day or obviously if you don't celebrate Christmas, 25th of December, 26th of December, whenever you listen to this.
Oh, happy holidays if you don't celebrate.
Happy holidays. Wherever you celebrate, happy end of December. Honestly, you've changed our lives for the better in a way that we could have never imagined when we first started the podcast. For our third highest listenership to be South Africa is ridiculous. Like third highest listenership, third highest viewership on YouTube, merch. Like, it's crazy that we have so many listeners from where we're from, and that's incredible. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for putting up with when we're late. Thank you for putting up with us when we go off subject, when we talk over each other, when we're just like the most unprofessional podcast in the world. But you stick with us. Next year, everything's going to go up another level again. And we're going to try and do more for you guys. We're going to we're definitely coming to America next year. Fingers crossed, potentially a South Africa trip in there as well. And
I'd also like to say at the moment there's a trend going around where the girlies are fighting, and there's a whole debate about British women having style and whether they could get from America. I said me can't relate because my entire wardrobe is my own merch and motorsport merch, and that's on period. And there's not many girlies wearing everyday motorsport merch and killing it like me. So thanks for giving me that little fashion sense, guys. Giving me that little upper hand, because I can't relate. You hear me?
No, for sure. And to be honest, if you thought the merch was good this year, you're not ready for next year.
I'm so excited for that one piece.
Look out for February, mid-February. Yeah, mid-February. Look out for something that I think is going to change the game. If you are on our Twitch, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the Twitch contract. So yeah, like
one person. We get tired sometimes.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I think I just want to say this to anyone who is a content creator, and we're probably you know what? Yeah. I always used to think that we were going, when we go longer than like an hour and a half, we rarely go longer than an hour and a half. So I was like, if we go longer than an hour and a half, people are not going to want to listen to that. The reason why we're not like top of a lot of people's podcast list is because other podcasts go for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So actually, we shouldn't feel bad if we do go on longer. But what I wanted to say was, what were we talking about? Content creators. All I want to say is this. We took the Twitch contract. You know what? I took the Twitch contract and I put that on myself. and it was a lesson in doing something because of what it would look like to other people rather than what the benefits would be to you. And shout out Twitch for like reaching out to us. But I would honestly say the beginning of my burnout started when that Twitch contract started. And I put too much on myself. I think I put too much on everyone else in the team. And I think that it was a lesson learned. But I would say, if you're a content creator, you don't need to have tens of thousands of followers or tens of thousands of subscribers to be able to monetize your platform, right? Like we have 2,000 subscribers. Obviously, we've got the Twitter following, 2,000 on Instagram, but we've made some merch and we've been able to monetize that, and we've done the live shows, and we're really grateful for that. And I think the most important thing that I learned, I think, Tandy, was instead of trying to grow to reach people outside of our fan base, I think what the merch told me was that I'd rather cater to the people who are our fans. And if that grows, then great. But you don't want to put yourself out to try and appease people. You don't want
to oversaturate your life, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, so that's it. But I'm just, honestly, I feel very emotional because it's just been a mad year, man. It's been a crazy year.
One podcast. My name is Deni. You could have been anywhere else in the world. Joining me as ever. No. Start again. Welcome to the Quick Stop F1 podcast. My name is Tandy, and you could have been anywhere in the world. Joining me.
But
you're here with us. Joining me as ever is my co-host, the wonderful,
and co-founder,
the abominable, the co-founder.
2023 will get her. 2023, one day she will get it right. But look, thank you guys for tuning in. Next year we'll be back. I'm going on a holiday, undisclosed. So I will see. We'll see if we can whack out some
bloopers.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we can whack out some.
If I get my hair done, and I know loads of you are gonna notice that I'm lost a nail. I've lost nail. Okay.
No one's noticed.
Hard out here. I'm in the Wirral. I'm looking for an acrylic person. There's nothing like that round here. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Well, look. We will. I don't think there's going to be a podcast. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we do. We'll see. But we'll keep you updated on the Twitter. We'll be a lot more active on it now that I'm out of my depressive episode. And just thank you. Thank you, everyone who listens, is what I wanted to say. Andy?
Thank you. Keep it on the black stuff.
Keep it on the black stuff. Have a wonderful festive period, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you believe in.
Wherever you are.
Yeah. Keep it on the black stuff. Oh, shit. There will be a New Year's Day sale.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get rid of these Lewis Hamilton t-shirts. There are sizes, I think there's like 25, 26 t-shirts left in like...
Thursday sale.
So New Year's Day, there's going to be a sale. We're going to slash the prices. Once these t-shirts are gone, they are gone.
They're gone. You cannot buy them next year, July.
We're not doing this t-shirt ever again. We're moving on to the next designs, new drops, new fucking montages, whatever. But this particular t-shirt, that is it. So if you're looking for one of these t-shirts, if you haven't bought one yet, keep an eye out for the sale. If you have bought one, thank you. If you've listened, bought something, watched something, whatever you've done, we appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Have a wonderful tagging us in the pictures. Tag me, because sometimes Yasha doesn't see it and then I see it late. So just tag me.
Yeah, because obviously Tandy runs the Instagram. So
I do,
as she says, but
I do.
Obviously,
I do.
Obviously, it's a different kind of running. So,
Bruh, goodbye. Your biggest hater will always be the one closely. I'm telling you, goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Bruh.
Look, mate, if you've got this far, clearly you like what we do. So here's a link to subscribe to the Quicks Up F1 family. Give that a click. And here's another link to some more cool on our channel. Sorry, cool stuff. And remember, no matter what happens, keep it on the black stuff. Click the stuff. Click the links. Click the links. Click the links. There. They're there.